Welcome to the Everyday Mom Challenge. All right, this is just not for homeschool moms. These are for any moms that have a senior and they kind of want the inside view of how a guidance session can go for seniors and their talk of graduation and beyond. So, first, I want to talk with you about um, where this information is based from. Number one, it's from our North Carolina requirements because you guys know I'm from North Carolina. If you didn't know, you can tell by the accent maybe. But I would encourage you to check your Department of Public Instruction for your state specific requirements. And if you need help with that, just message me and I'll help you connect with those state departments, as well as looking at your state homeschool sites. North Carolina has a wonderful homeschool site that really helps us parents out. So I'm speaking from a lot of this is going to be specific to North Carolina. However, a lot of this can be very general that can be applied for the United States. So for North Carolina, there are 26 credits required for graduation. But if you stay on track, most people are going to end up with 32 credits because you're not going to unless you fail a credit. So you take 4 classes in the fall, 4 classes in the spring. That gives you 8 credits a year. Now, with the UNC systems, you have to have Spanish 1 and 2. So I encourage you to go to whatever college choices that your child has, create a spreadsheet. I'm going to share a video on our spreadsheet if you would like to see how we've kind of organized it, but it's super simple. Go on Google Slides because you'll be able to share it and update it and work together real time on this. That's why we do everything through Google platform because I can share all of this information with my child too. But check to see what requirements are necessary for admissions. So for world languages, my son chose Spanish 1 and 2. That's why I put it in there. My baby's going to choose Russian. Most colleges are a 2.5 GPA requirement and an SAT score of 880 or an ACT of 17. That's most colleges. So you can, go through and you can check that. Now, they at our school, they said at our high school that I work at, so I can get this knowledge that the GPA has made a change this school year. So I learned some GPA changes, and I'll share some of those GPA changes with you. This is how they went away with valedictorian in our county, and so they're going to be grouping students just based on their averages. So that way, more students can be recognized. That's what they claimed is the purpose of that. But you can see how they've broken it up in our county that I work in. However, this can be completely different in different counties. And I had freshmen, when I shared this with my freshman students at class, they're like, how do I get a 4.25 when all A's are a 4? That would give you a 4. And I explained to them about the AP courses, the honors courses, and how they're weighted differently. So that's a very good question of how do you do that. So I have the GPA calculator on my computer and it's free. But there's other calculators that you can use to help you with your GPAs. So the question was always, how can we calculate that GPA? I wanted to make sure I went over that with you. I also want to encourage you to have your senior. Now, listen, my kid's a junior and we're doing this, all right? We were actually doing some of this when he was in 10th grade, going to all the tours his 9th and 10th grade year. So you don't have to wait till senior year to do a lot of this, but especially the senior year, they need to go ahead and know what their top 5 colleges are. Pick a reach school. That's going to be their number 1, reach school. Then let them pick their safe schools underneath. I think that the challenge schools are important for them to apply to because if your child has a package that they're coming in with, extracurricular, sports, activities, volunteers, service learning, they're having a good GPA, they're into clubs and organizations, or they're active, they have strong essays, SAT scores are high, go for those reach schools. And I told my son, when you apply to these, if you get the no, it's not the end of the world. If you get the yes, you still may not be able to go because their financial aid package might not work for you. But I would suggest that you go ahead and look at the CLEP and the AP requirements for those top 5 colleges. because all colleges are different. We created an AP clip with Google Slide just for that. So that way he could pick up his colleges and see the similarities between the AP courses, because I'm not going to pay $90 for him to take an AP test if it doesn't work. So we knew that world history worked for all of the colleges that he's going to apply for. So that's why we took world history, and he passed it, and he's already got the college credit through the AP. But I'm telling you, be smart about it. Don't waste a lot of money, because these tests can add up. Just the admissions prices alone can add up. This site, the ASVAB program, don't get turned off when you think that ASVAB is only for military. But hey, I wish my children both went into the military. I could not convince them to do that. But the ASVAB Career Exploration Program can help them look at different options if they're still undecided. Because I've told my son, even though he's pretty much undecided at this point, he's not sure, he knows what he likes. So that's why he's picked 5 colleges that have a lot of different majors that he's interested in. That's a great way. I mean, how many times have we been undecided in our life, especially in college, and switching majors and changing majors? But go to a place that has a lot of options. Don't pick a place that has very limited degrees. That I think that is where we can get kids in trouble. So why do I have SAT in December here? Well, my son has a high enough SAT score to get into all of his colleges, but I still wanted us to consider and have this conversation in our guidance talk. Should we continue to take it? We decided against it. We decided no. My son says he wants to stick with his score, that he feels fine with that. ACT in 11th grade. That's another option you should consider. Now, we have a very nice high school. I love that high school. Smithfield Selma really worked with us. But I'll tell you, we discussed it as an option, and my son still canceled that one out. He felt like his SAT score was fine, and he didn't want to have another balanced score. I would encourage you to really look into the ACT. Like for the North Carolina requirements, we can take the ACT and it count for our homeschool test. So even though I give the CAT as the homeschool test too, I still give that one as well. So we're covered. But I would really encourage you to look into those tests. Check out cfnc.org. Please go ahead and help your child create an account. This is what we're going to be doing this week. We're going to make a YouTube video about it. The next thing that your child needs to make an account with is the Common App. Not all colleges take the Common App, but many of them do. Some colleges you have to apply right on their website, or you have to apply through CFNC. But many colleges today are going for the Common App, which makes it so much easier. It's going to take them about 2 hours to do the Common App. I help the student do the Common App, and it's really like if they've done a job application, they can sit and do the Common App on their own. But I would, really suggest that you sit close to them in case they have any questions, and you're just reviewing what they're doing, because this is their college application. One kid said it took him 6 hours to do the Common App when I was in a session, but when I worked with a student, it took us about 45 minutes to do some of the background information and things, and then you're ready for your essay. So have your essays ready for the Common App. The CFNC is important because we have to submit our final transcripts to them. There is a transcript service. So the students will be submitting the transcripts through the Common App with us, because we're our guidance counselors if we're homeschool. If you've got a public school kid, the guidance counselors will submit that when your child is ready to contact them for transcripts. But when you go to the final one, you have to submit the transcript. Oh, there's another one. Yay, I'm glad you're liking the video I put up this morning. So letters of recommendation. Create a resume to share with someone, because they need to know what you've done. It's almost like they called it a brag sheet at our school, but I consider it a resume. He already has his resume for his work portfolio, so I would suggest that you share that one. So make sure you talk with your person that you want to use for your recommendation. Check out CFNC for scholarships. Also go to guidance counselor websites at every high school that is in your area. Please do that, because then you'll find bunches of scholarships. Build a database for your scholarships. There is a free Countdown to College week where a lot of places will